I just thought about this. We're about ready to do the vlogging dead from our bed.
Whoa.
I know, right?
Okay, so the Carol and Daryl episode.
Yeah.
Wow.
It should have been named Burned, quite honestly, for everything that was burned in the episode.
No, I think it was properly named Consumed.
I don't know. I think Burned
because
better.
the burning consumes everything, you know.
True, but I'm getting the burned also from when Carol was sitting there saying, you know, my previous life or whatever. Once I got to the prison, it was burned away, and then everything that I knew, and I thought I knew who I was and whatnot. Even though I know we're skipping ahead right now, but that was also burned away, and now she just doesn't know.
Well, yeah, because she was a different person when they kept doing the flashbacks. And she was a different person when she was getting abused with Sophia and Ed, and then when she went to the prison after Sophia died, she became a different person there, and then that got destroyed, and that person of her got destroyed, and then she had to do the whole thing with Lizzie and Mika, and now she's just kind of like a cold robot walking around.
Which is interesting because she asked Daryl, she said, "You never even asked what happened," and he's like, "I know." And she says, "No, it was worse than that." And it's just like, it just weighs heavy on you. But quite honestly, I mean...
I think she wants to tell him, but she knows she's not ready to go into it because she feels like she's going to break down, and I think she needs to feel strong right now.
No, true.
A
lot of self-help books in this one. But
yeah. Before
we get into that, I have to say, I have to get a couple things off my chest. Number one, I was not a fan of this episode. It wasn't... there. I don't know, there's just too much like...
Because you always want action. You know,
well, we all want action.
Yeah, I mean...
Bed.
I liked it because it's telling a lot of the backstory, but the thing I'm not liking about season 5...
The flashbacks.
No,
and the time frame.
Shush, that's you. What I don't like about season 5 is they're not getting anywhere. You know, in the other episodes, they were doing something. They were going somewhere. They had a goal. This one, everybody's all over the place and nobody's doing anything.
Well, they had a goal until it was taken away from them by Eugene admitting.
Yeah, but the group being back together, then they let themselves get split apart because of Abraham. You know, they should get their asses back to the church, and Daryl's already back at the church because he's there with Noah, and then they all go there and they storm down the hospital and get Beth. And then they invite that Kagan guy who's supposed to come and be the big, huge badass, should be coming in, you know, after the mid-season finale. He should be coming late in the season, but right now, get everybody back together.
Yeah.
And get a couple more people on board. Maybe a couple of cops that didn't agree with Dawn. Maybe get that wimpy doctor and get him a backbone so that...
It would be nice to have a doctor in the group,
yeah.
Especially after Herschel's gone. But, I mean, what you're saying to me, though, is the timeline. I'm not enjoying jumping from, you know, this is what this person's doing.
Yeah, because Daryl's already at the church, and now this episode you have to go back.
You have 4 episodes of all this stuff. Well, okay, and then you just said it. Yeah, and then you have to go back, and this is where they're at now. I'm sorry. And this is the second episode that has screwed up something automotive. Okay, I'm sorry. When that van went off the bridge...
over, it went like this.
It was on its roof.
And then it landed on its tires.
Yeah.
I mean, when it's going over like this, it's not going to automatically go, boing.
And they dropped 2 vans. So it's to wonder...
No, I thought they said they had 4.
They had 4 vans, they dropped 2 of them off the bridge.
It would have landed on its roof, not on the tires.
Well, that's what I think happened. The first one, the first shot they have of it going off the bridge,
it
looked like it was going to hit on the roof. And the second van that they dropped, they had to put it on all 4s. I think that they should have just went through with the storyline of just put it on its roof. It's more natural. And I'm an automotive technician, so just stuff like that just like really gnaws at me. It's just not right. Sorry. But that was my rant.
Once it went off the bridge, you know, I was sitting there like, you know, those walkers are stupid. They're gonna walk right off the edge, and they did. It was like boing, 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 boing.
It's raining walkers.
And then Daryl and Carol, they get out of the van. And I'm like, get out from under there. The walkers are walking off. They're gonna fall on you, and if a walker falling on your head from 50 feet could kill you, get out of the way.
Oh, who was following Carol and Daryl? Because please tell me, when they first started driving, and I realized that they had busted out the lights or whatever, so that, you know, brake lights and stuff, nobody would be able to see them coming. Carol and Daryl drive by the one walker, tag her arm, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't the original car. That wasn't the first car.
No,
that
the
was
first
Carol
car,
and Daryl.
The first car tagged their arm. Carol and Daryl is the ones who made the head pancake.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, so I take that back, because I was under the way that I read that, because you hear the audio of them talking when the first car goes by, so you're thinking that they're in that car, and after that, another car goes by.
No, they're the ones who ran over her head, because that's why Carol went and looked back, and she was like that, and she made that face.
I don't remember that face.
Yeah, she turned around, she looked, and she was like...
Oh, okay. So, also, when they finally make it to the hospital, and they're sitting in there, and the walker's like, ah, and the police officer, whatever her name is, she looks back, and she's like, because the walker's sitting there like, you know, this parked car or whatever, why didn't she just roll down the window, do what she ended up doing anyway, roll down the window, stab it, roll the window back up, walker's dead, not making any noise anymore. I don't know. I would have thought
you mean
that
when they
Carol
were
would have
sitting
had
there
more
watching
sense.
them in the dark?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I mean, it would have been so easy, just like she ended up doing at the end of that scene anyway. I took notes, guys. I'm not the only one, apparently. I felt so good when, what's her name, Yvette, on The Talking Dead tonight, when she had...
Pages of notes.
Pages of notes. I just took, like, not even a full page, and you can't even read my chicken scratch.
Yeah, I liked her views on it, because, see, I wouldn't be able to get those views on it unless I watch it. She says she watches it three times before she goes on. So
she watches it twice, usually.
I do. I watch it 2 to 3 times, and I usually watch it twice on Sunday and once the repeat on the next Sunday. So I do watch each episode 3 times.
Ooh.
But this one, you know, I liked it because she noticed that in all the flashbacks, Carol was the one lighting all the fires, and this one, Daryl was lighting all the fires. And he kept on, you know, he lit the notepad, the legal pad, and threw it, and it lit a fire. And then he lit that dumpster on fire so no one could sneak by and steal a truck. I thought that was pretty symbolic.
Yeah, that was pretty good. And I did like the way that the episode started out. I feel that it was kind of powerful. Not the part of her finding a place, because, I mean, we kind of know that, you know, when you're outcast from a herd or whatever, then there's going to be an emotional breakdown. You're going to have to find shelter and everything, and she did that. They didn't have to show that. What I really enjoyed them showing is that when she did find the place and she looks out the window, she sees the smoke, and she goes towards the smoke, and then seeing the prison in the reflection of the windshield. I thought that was so powerful, because that just brought, you know, it's like, crap, you know, they exiled me. Maybe I could have helped. Look, there's everything. Not only was I exiled from the prison, there it is going up in smoke. So I don't know exactly what she was feeling at that time. It's like, yeah, serves you right kind of thing. Or, oh my God, I could have been there. I could have helped it.
She's involved in a lot of explosions and smoke, and because she knows the black smoke means it's still burning, and the white smoke means it's out. My favorite part of the episode was when they went into that office and they were looking out the window to try to see where the hospital was or find any clues, and there was that painting on the wall, and Daryl's looking at it, and he's like, you know, this moron had to spend a boatload or a shitload of money, he said, you know, on this painting. It looks like a dog sat on it and took a shit and wiped his ass all the way across it. Oh my God. I thought I was going to pee my pants.
I love the comedy there.
Oh my God. That was the best line in all 5 seasons of Walking Dead. Because it did look like a dog dragged his shitty ass all the way across like they would on a carpet. Oh my God, that was funny, funny, funny.
So I wrote this down. I'm not sure if we want to mention something about it, about the way that Daryl said the reason that I said we have to start over is because we gotta. You know, and it seems like a constant starting over. I mean, because just... And the preview with Carl, I think he said is that you can't stay in any one place for a long time. And I think it's like every time they change a place, it's like Carol said, everything gets just get burned down, and now you got to start over again. It's like this constant starting over. And so, you know, not only are you living in the shitty world, but now you're having
to it though.
Yeah, exactly.
If you stay one place, you know, the walkers just keep coming and coming. I mean, these things, the flesh and everything is just, it's got to be coming off their body. Now, it's 4 years into the apocalypse. These things, I know there's still humans and they're still dying, so there's still going to be some fresher zombies. But these ones that have been walking around haven't been eaten, and the ones who were killed 4 years ago, they can't still be walking around because decomposition. the body should be falling off. I mean, there should be. They can't be just walking around being a skeleton.
Hold on. I have a question that you've been wondering. I've been wondering. It was like last season. Where the
freaking herd
is the herd? Right?
Yeah, and I even
seriously.
I even sent in questions to Chris Hardwick so he would ask it. Could you ask somebody?
It's like nobody's wanting to talk about it. Did they just do some
and Bob
awesome...
and the other two went out. I can't remember who the four of them went when they went out to do that scouting thing, and they landed up on a pile of walkers and they couldn't get the car off and they had to run and fight their way out of that and go through the woods and get back. That herd of walkers was over 8,000 strong.
Oh yeah.
And they never showed up anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Where the hell did they go?
It's like they wanted to do the special effect just for, I don't know, cinematography or something, and then they just...
they made such a big deal about it from the episode before and the episode after, the herd. Then nothing was ever said about it.
Nothing.
Again. Okay, so where'd they go?
Carol and Daryl switching roles, basically. So Carol was going to shoot Noah when they were sitting there, and she had a body shot on him. But when they were sitting there, when he was stealing the weapons...
Daryl goes like this.
And Daryl said that, Daryl didn't like that.
He said, don't do it, he's just a kid.
Yeah, and then they switch roles because, he was like, we could be dead. And because the next one, and I know I'm stumbling right now. Hold on.
What was the freaking people?
Daryl was going to leave him underneath the bookcase, and Carol didn't like that. So it's kind of like they just switched right there. It's like, he stole our weapons. We could have been dead, she says, but we're not.
But I think he was trying to make Carol care about him.
Well, right. But, I mean, before that, though, Carol was like, he could have killed us. He's taking our weapons. We could be, that could be killing us. And it's just a total flip-flop of ideals.
I'm sorry, but what the hell was with the campers and the little bridge?
Yeah, it was like a sky bridge between two offices is what it looked like, right? There
was 4 people stuck in their... dead zombies stuck in their sleeping bags, and there was 3 tents, and people... There was 3 tents and zombies in each tent.
Office sleepovers is the wave of the future.
I don't understand. How did they all die?
I don't know.
And how did they die in their sleeping bag, in their sleep? And the other ones are obviously zipped up in the tents, so they were asleep when they died. I saw a little blood splatter on a couple of sleeping bags, but that was it.
I was going to say the hospital had something to do with it.
Did they all lay down and take poison? Did they all lay down and starve to death
I think we might just be reading too much into it. I don't know. But, I mean, my original thought was like the hospital had something to do with it.
Everybody doesn't just lay down into their sleeping bags and die like that.
I don't know. Sometimes when I go to sleep at night, I feel like I die.
And the walkers climbed up and knocked down that entire fence at the jail. I'm pretty sure they could have clawed their way out of a cheap-ass tent. You know what I mean?
Oh, man, that was an REI tent. That was a good tent.
It doesn't matter, though. I mean, they climbed up over that damn fence and knocked it down. They could have ripped the way out of this cheap-ass tent. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense.
Right.
They keep going back and making... It just seems like they're making mistakes in this season.
Or maybe they're planned mistakes. I don't know. But I want to ask you guys, why do you think that Daryl went and killed the zombie from the bookcase? Why do you think that he went back? Because he was like out of there. And, I don't want us to answer that. I want to get your guys' perspective on that. And why do you think that happened? That's all I got. Do you have anything else?
Yeah, I say we put a bunch of paint on Popcorn's ass and put one of a canvas down and let her wipe it all over the paint.
All right. Popcorn is my dog, so...
And then we'll bring it down to the art gallery and say that we painted it and make $1 million off it. And then we'll say his dog's ass painted it. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Hey, if it's got a $sign on it, then, I'm all for it. Maybe I won't have to go to that 9 to 5 anymore. Anyway, guys, happy haunting. Stay alive, don't get dead, and we'll see you next week. You're not a walker, are you? You're not going to be like...